So hello, and in this video I will create a 3D character like this in real time. And while working, I will explain how I do this so you can easily create your character together with me. So let's have a look at our character. I was thinking for a long time what kind of character would be better to do with you, not only from practice perspective. I want you not just repeat after me, but understand what I'm doing. So the final result shouldn't be exactly the same. It should be how you want it. You should like your character first of all. So that's why I decided to do character like this. It reminds me of very popular toys like a beer brick or cast figures or something like that. So it's pretty simple, but at the same time, every character could be different and unique. So together we will make the base, and then everyone can decide how the final result will look like. So our character consists of a head, a body, two arms, two legs, and a tail. The head consists of something like a hood, face, eyebrows, and eyes. But in this example, eyes is just an image on the face surface. So let's start. First of all, let's prepare our workspace. Delete default rectangle, and for now, I will turn off the grid plane. Let's start from the body as a central part. To create a body like this, we will use a mesh object. So first of all, let's add a simple 3D cube first. So we have our cube in the center, and the first thing we need to do is to rename our cube to the body, because it's quite important in the future. Then we need to transform this cube into the mesh, because we want to work with a mesh. To do that, I will decrease coordinate to the 0 here, and then I will press smooth and edit button. So now this is the mesh, and now I need to make this mesh looks like let's say like a neck. So to do that, I need to select face selection tool. I need to select top face like this, and I need to scale it down. So I will select this view like a default view, and I see that my face is selected. I just need to press this red circle to scale it, but at the same time I will keep shift button. So let's see what will happen if I will while keep pressing shift button, I will move this red circle. I will scale down the size of the top face, something like this. So if I will change the level of the subdivision modifier, we will see that we have something like an egg. But for our body object, we need something like a belly silhouette, because we don't need like egg silhouette. So I need to add one more loop cut in the middle of the object. So I select loop cut tool. I hover my object somewhere where I see the horizontal red loop cut, and then I click. So we have added new edges which divide our faces into, so we have more faces right now, but we will continue work with this edge. And I want to this edge which is in front of our object, right? So if I press reset and zoom in, this edge I see, I select this edge. This is edge of my front part of my object. And now I can move this edge, and I will move this like this to make this like a belly of our object, like this. Then I'm gonna select edge selection, and I'm gonna work with bottom edges, with these bottom dots. We have 4 dots. I can select them all like this, and I also will change, I will scale down the size. So I can actually select face, or I can select all bottom edges, or I can select all bottom vertex if I want to change the size of this like a square. Easily to do is just to select a face like this, for example, press shift and start pull this red circle again. So we change the size of this rectangle, which is bottom face, something like this. Maybe I will put it up a little bit. So I want to have like in the top face, we'll have a neck, so I can make it smaller again. So I will select the top face, and while using Shift pressed and this red circle, red ellipse, I can make it smaller, and I will move it to the back, which will more natural, like a cartoon body part, something like that. And I will make a neck right now. To make a neck from the top face, first of all, I need to create a new small section here. To do that, I will have selected the top face, and I will select Inset Tool. Then I will have this blue circle, and while pulling this circle, I can see how I create a new section, new face. And I will stop here. So from this we will expand our neck. I just want to move this part a little bit to the back. And now I'm ready to extrude. So I select Extrude Tool, and I extrude my neck like this. I can also make one more section to make the neck more rounded here, but it's not so matter because here we'll have our head. So the body part is done for now. And now we are ready to create a head, but actually our, at least my object is too small. So I want to make it a little bit bigger. I can select it, and I can press Option Shift, and I can pull this box so I can change the size. Because if I will try to change the size by this row, it will be hard because I need to make it like equally for every row, for every axis. It's hard to do. And at the same time, of course, I can scale like this, but it's also not what I want because I like to have my all objects at the same scale. So I will select my object, I will press Shift and Option, and I will pull this gray square like this to change size. So my size of my body would be something like this. Not too big, not too small. Okay. Let's create a hat, and we will also use the cube, simple cube. But first of all, let's prepare our cube. Let's switch corner to 0, like this. And let's press Smooth and Edit once. So we have something like this, right? Our mesh like this. And if we will have one level of subdivision modifier, we will have something like this. And I'm going to press Increase Base Subdivision. So what will happen right now? I change a grid a little bit. And this grid is apply the first level of subdivision of my object. So now our grid looks like this. So we have these faces, and we will use this object to make our head. So first of all, let me reset transform and put my object to the center. Now I will move it to the top, and I will move it to the back like this. So my head in the center, in the neck. Also, let me rename the layer to head. So I want to press reset and see the full picture. I want to have head like much bigger than body, something like this. So let's make it bigger, and again change the position like this. Okay, we're ready to work with our head. So zoom in, select our head, press Edit Mesh. So first thing we need to do is make from this head something like a hood. And to do this, I will select front 4 faces, these front faces, 4 faces like this. So I select them all. Just quickly remind you that you can select this by keeping Shift press like this. Or you can, of course, select by hovering, but when you will hover it like this, you can select faces you don't want to be selected. So when you want to select like 4 faces, better to just press Shift and select them one by one. Okay, we need to make a section, new section. So select Inset, and we will inset down. So we'll make a new section like this. We need this section because we want to have something like a bevel here, not too tiny, not too big. So section should be something like this. And then we will extrude, but we will extrude not like outside, but inside, like this. So if we will switch level from 0 to 1, we will have something like this. And if I will select 2, which is more smooth and round, I will have something like this. So I will press Command Z a few times. Let's have a subdivision at 3. So I select these 4 front faces, extrude down, and I have something like this. Later we will put a sphere object here. And I can, for example, after I extrude down, like extrude inside, I still have selected this face. So you can see that this face is still selected. And I can press Shift and I can select or this circle because this is the scale. And with Shift, I can scale like this my face, and on subdivision level, then I have this picture. So let's quickly exit from Edit Mesh and select Sphere. Put Sphere somewhere here, press Reset Transform, move to the top this sphere, make it bigger by keeping Shift option pressed like this. So we have our face. Then we will later we will add our face like an image here. But let's move back to our head and make something like ears. Let's edit mesh. To make ears, we will use from the right side. We will use, so this is our 4 faces, the same faces we selected in the front part, but now we have these 4 faces in the right part, and of course we have the same faces in the left side. So we will select these 2 faces, just like in the center, top right and bottom right face, and we will select the same faces from the other side, like this. So we have selected left and right. We can select Inset first and make these sections smaller. Here's the thing. Be sure then before you gonna inset these faces, here in Extrude Inset section, you have selected group, not individual, because if it will be individual, we will select we will inset every face separately, which we don't need. We need to have group mode, so we can make something like this. So we have small faces here, and then from these small faces we can extrude. So we select extrude, and now we have like more accurate ears. And now you can do whatever you want with these ears. You can leave it as is. You can, for example, move it like this. You can, for example, move it to the front like this. You can scale down selected faces and make it a little bit smaller, or whatever you want. So you can play a little bit, be like accurate also here, because you can make something very strange, but you can always press Command Z. And I think I will just select maybe these edges in the middle of our so we have these edges here. I can select them both, and I can, for example, manage the shape of ears. For example, I will do something like this. So I like this ears, so I will keep it like this. Okay, so we have our head, we have our sphere. Let's call this sphere face, and let's add face and head in one group. So select face and head, select Command G, and rename this group as a head again. So we have a head group and we have a body. Now we need to adjust a pivot point of the head, because later when we will build our scene, our head should rotate not like around here, but around the neck. To do this, select head group, and while keep and press Option Command, click on this group icon like this, and then move pivot point to the place where we have a connection with a neck, like this. And now if I will select head and I will rotate it like this, I will rotate it around the neck, how it should be actually. Okay, and one more thing. Now you can select head, and you can select head group and the body object and group them together to have one big group. Let's call this group as a body. So body will consist of head and arms, and our legs would be separate. And for the body, we also need to change a pivot point. So later it will be very helpful for us, because if we will rotate like this, our legs can be, for example, here, and better to make rotation around the next section connection. In our case, it would be legs. So press Option Command, click on body group like this, and start move the pivot point to the bottom, where we will have our legs, our foot. Okay, done. Let's maybe a little bit adjust head. So I want to adjust the position of the head, make it here, and press reset. Let's see the full picture. Okay, we have a head, we have a body. What else we can do? Now we can add arms, and we will use 3D path to add arms, and we will actually create only one arm. So let's start to create our arm. So select left side or right side, doesn't matter. To create arm, zoom in. So here we will have our arm. Start somewhere here. Plus Pros, select 3D path, and the first click make in the place where we want to connect our arm with our body, somewhere here. Okay, we have first dot. This is our arm starts here, and then our hand will finish somewhere here. Done. We put two dots and make a 3D path. So let's see from the front side. We need to move it to the right, like this. And now press Edit Path. So now we will work with these dots. For example, I want my arm be like this here, and I can use a bend tool. So I select bend tool to make hand a little bit more rounded here. So I will navigate by, I will change the bend using bend tool like this. So I want my arm be rotated like this, right? And I can, Command Z, I can select arrow tool, select this point and move it to the body like this. I like the size of my arm here, but I think it should be smaller at the start. So while my path selected, I can change the start scale like this and make it smaller, which is good for me. And I can just fix the position. And I need rounded cups here. So in a cup section, I select round. So we have round cups here. I have a little artifact here. It's not so smooth as I want. To fix this, I can select a pen tool again, select here, and I can add some bend like this. So my hand looks like this. It's too far. Let's connect it like this. Yeah. And from the right side, I will do something like this. So with the arrow tool, we can select these dots and manage their position here until we will satisfied with the hand position with our arm. Yeah, let's have something like this. Okay, for example, we have done with our arm. First thing we need to do is to, of course, rename our layer to arm. And now we will not create another one arm in the same way and spend some time. And we also will not just copy these. First thing we need to do is to make this arm as a component. To do that, select arm layer and in this menu select create component. It's quite important because if we want in some future we decided to change design of our hand, we will make these changes only with this component, and the other hand will also have these changes. It's very useful for us. So now we need to change pivot point of our hand because we want to rotate our hand, but not like this, but round connection with the shoulder. And to do this, we need to press Option Command, select this icon, and change the position of the pivot point from every side, from the front, from right side. So we sure that connection somewhere here where we have like a shoulder. Okay, and if I will select my hand right now, I can rotate it like this. Good. And now I'm ready to make a copy of this component. So I press Command C, Command V. So I just pass, or you can press duplicate like this. So you see we have arm with this icon, which is like a main component, and instance with this icon. And this is our instance. You see it's here, but I need to first of all flip this instance to X, flip X like this. So we make some like kind of a mirror. And now I need to, in position, just add for X value, just add minus. So I will put this left hand the same position from the left side as where we have this hand from the right side, because we see that our pivot point, this is the center, right? And we have our position of our pivot point from the right side, X, 26 and 25 here. It could be 25, so any value. But our left hand with this pivot point depend on the center, has the same position but with minus 26. So our hand right now absolutely symmetrical. Next step we should do is to make some work here. So let's move our arms together, select them together and add them into a new group, which would be, I have one instance I need to delete. So we have a group where we have our component arm and instance arm, and we will rename this group as arms. And we can also change the position of pivot point of these arms in case if we want to quickly adjust their position, but not around the center, around the shoulder. So Option Command, select this group icon and move pivot point again somewhere where we have a shoulder like this. So escape, select arms, and now I can change the position, change the rotation of arms together, or I can change only one, select only one arm and change their position like this. Okay, we have done with our arms. Now we need to create our leg, and actually it will be absolutely the same. I will just hide a group with arms because I need to see where my legs will be connected with the body. Right now I am from the right side. I usually work with the right side. It doesn't matter, you can work with left side. So I'm in the right side of my body. I select 3D path. I put a first point where leg will be connected with the body, and where leg would be connected with like a floor, where it will be finished somewhere here. Press escape. Now I need to move this leg to the left and to the top, and I can press edit pass, and I can move only one path point like this, and I can make the start scale smaller like this. Yeah, and here also I can work with bend tool, so I can make my food. Actually, it will be better if it will be without, but this will be okay. Let's think how we can add another one point in the middle, and we can work with this point. So for example, it would be better if my leg would looks like this from this perspective, and probably like this maybe. So we need to move these points, but these parts should stay on the floor, so I can add one bend here, and I need to manage it like this, so it should be on this level, like staying on the floor. Yeah, I like this food. I also can add rounded cups here, but not like this, more like by changing corner like this, just a little bevel here. Yeah, okay, I'm satisfied with my food. Maybe I can move it to the bottom again a little bit. Yeah, like this. So now I need a copy from the other side. To do that, first of all, I need to take my path, rename to the leg, add this leg to the component, so I create component like this. I make a duplication by Command D or Control D, duplication version or instance, I flip to X, flip X like this, and for the leg instance I flip right now, I need to change position by adding minus here, so we just mirror the position of the legs. And let's turn on our arms, see if there are no conflicts. No, there are no any conflicts, they are not touch each other. Yep, we have our character. Let's make again some work in the layers. So we have a body group, we have arms group, and let's add our legs together in one group. Let's call it legs. And it is important to move our arms inside the body group. So we have head. So in body group we have head group, arms group, and the body. And if we will change the position of the body, like rotate it, we will rotate it around this place where we connect with our legs, which is like more natural, right? Okay, and we need to add a few little details. We need to add eyebrows and a tail. And let's go to our face. Let's zoom in and let's create eyebrows. Actually pretty the same how we work with arms and legs. Let's zoom in, select plus, pass, and let's draw our eyebrow. So we can always change the eyebrow later. Let's just put one path point and the second path point like this, and we need to change the size of the shape of our pass. So here the size for our pass. Be sure that we have locked, and then let's set size, well, for example, 8. Yeah, good enough. And let's add for our pass rounded caps. And let's manage the position of some path points. For example, I will select this first path point and I will move it closer to the sphere like this. So we see that And maybe this also, I will move it like this. Yeah. And now what we need to do is to make a copy and be sure that they are placed exactly how it should be like in real life when we have eyebrows. So in the center, I can move this a little bit to the left. I can make this again as a component, but it's actually a pretty small element, so I will just make a duplication. The new version I duplicate, I will flip the X, I will move it to the right like this, and I can make a group of these eyebrows. So I can make a group like this, and I can align group to change position to 0. So now my eyebrows in the middle, in the center, which is good. And I can actually change one path. So for example, this path will look like this. Like we can have some emotions using these eyebrows. Like what is going on? Something like this. Let's keep it for now like this. Okay, and the last thing we need to add, but it's just if you want, we need to add a tail, and we will use a 3D path again. So let's set our view to the right side or left side. Let's zoom. So we will have tail somewhere here. So let's select 3D path. Let's connect our tail. So add first point, and then let's add a second point, like this. So let's switch view. We can actually align our connection point, but we already see that path point has position everywhere 0, so this is a good. But in this position, which is like a global position, we have -8 for X. Let's for X have 0. So we move our connection path to in the center of the X-axis. So because our body is in the middle of the X-axis, our head is 0, arms is in 0, body in 0. So it's like a perfect center. So it would be good if our tail also would be in the center, at least the first path point where we have connection with the body. Then what we can do, we can for example move this point like inside of the body, so it will feels like this tail is going from this body. We can add rounded caps like this, and we can change the scale of this part of the ending so it will look more like a tail. And now I recommend you to play with this path point, so you can move tail to the left, to the right, like this. Don't forget to play with a band to make it more natural. So like this, for example, or like this. So decide where you want to have your tail of your character, but be sure that it still looks natural here, because if you will just change the position, it will look kind of strange here. So you can also select the connection path point, select a band tool, and add a band here to make more like interesting shape of tail. But I will, I don't know, maybe I will fix something here. Maybe, yeah, I will stay with this shape. Good. And press reset. So now let's again make some work on our layers. So let's rename our path to tail. I just noticed I don't rename my eyebrows. I also need to rename my eyebrows. Okay, be sure that eyebrows inside a head group. So we have a head group where we have our eyebrows, our face, and our head. And the tail add to the body group. So we have a head, arms, tail, and body. So let's see, if we select our body, we can still rotate it like this, right? And if we select head, we can still rotate it like this, or like this. So so it rotates how it should like. Okay, and we actually done with our character. And the next step we will do a scene with a background, with some materials. So let's finalize our character. What we need to do here, we need to add legs and the body together in one group. So we have a group which we will call our character. And here what I want you to recommend. So in Spline we have scenes, right? And I recommend you to have your character like this in one scene. So here you will always have a chance to change something, change, for example, shape of the body, change hand, etc. But in a separate scene, you can have your character, and you can rotate the hands, head, and play with the background, with materials, and play with the position of this character, and not be afraid that then it will be hard to fix something. So to do that, first of all, we need to add our character, make our character as a component like this, create component, and yeah, we have our component arm and leg outside. This is okay. And then we need to create a new scene, not new UI scene, just new scene. And from the first scene, let's copy our character component to the scene 2, and let's press Command V. So we put our character instance. So again, here I can be absolutely calm to change something like this. Oh, sorry, something like this or like this. So any movement here will help me to create nice final picture, but my character still is a component here, so I can make any changes here. So for example, I want to have these arms. For example, where's my, oh, sorry, this is my arm component. So if I want to change it, I need to change it here, which is logical. So I want to change, for example, size of end scale. So I can do something like this, right? Yeah, well, just an example, but then I will have my scene here where we have applied our changes. Okay, let's go back. I will move hand how it was. Okay, let's go to the scene 2. I will just I will put my character again. So we have our character instance copied in a scene 2. Now let's prepare the scene. For example, we can I like to move the light to the left side like this, and let's change background. For example, I don't know, select any background you want, but better, for example, for now, just repeat after me, because I will show how the background and should match with object material. So for example, I will have this bright little blue background like this, and now I need to add floor. So I want to see how my character stays on some floor. I go to the plus icon, I select plane, I put anywhere, doesn't matter where I put it, because then I will select and reset transform. I will rotate plane, because plane should lie on the floor, so I need to select rotation x minus 90 like this, and move it to the top. And orthographic projection can help me understand where my floor should be placed, somewhere here. So I can switch to the perspective and see that my character stay on the floor. Now I need to make the plane bigger, so size at x at y for the shape could be much bigger, something like more than 200, I guess. But we see where our floor is ending, which is not so beautiful. I would like to make this floor smooth transition with background. So how to do this? First of all, select our plane, select color, and you can apply the same color we have for the background. This is the first thing what you can do, but you can still see this transition between floor and background. If you want completely smooth floor, you can change the color to depth and then select depth option. The first color in the ramp would be a color of our background, and the last color will be also a color of our background, but transparent. So now we just need to make far point far, like something like this. So far here, the value of far here shouldn't be like the same as the size of our plane. So if our plane like more than 2000, far, for example, could be 1000, it will be enough to, so I can select our plane. You can see this is our plane size, but this is like our depth size, how we switch color from solid light gray to transparent light gray. And why we do this? Because with this depth and with these colors where we have this solid and this transparent, we still have where we can cast a shadow, and at the same time we can make this transparency here to our background. So if I will change a color of the background, for example, to blue, we see what is going on. We have this smooth transition, but not so smooth. We can see this artifact. To fix this artifact, we need to change the color of our depth, and to the far color, which is transparent, even it's transparent, we need to select our background color to make this transition more like a smooth. And we can also play with this color. So I can also select the color as the same as the background to make this smooth transition between floor and background. But I will turn it back to the gray because I like light gray color. Okay, now let's work with materials for our character. Here we also need to do some work. What I mean, so we need to assign what kind of material where we will have. And my recommendation, or like just a suggestion, but it's not so necessary. You can do whatever you want. But my recommendation is to, for this model, have the same color everywhere for the body and have just a different color for face. Like this is like a suit or something like this. This is a face, and maybe a different color for eyebrows. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the, for example, legs. We can select any leg, for example, this leg. We can go to the material section, press these 4 dots and press plus. And then rename the new material we add to the material assets as a body, for example. To be more clear, press these edit icons here and, for example, change the color to blue, for example, just for now. To be sure that we assign properly all objects to the material we need. And then let's select the other leg, go to the material, press these 4 dots, and we see our body material we just created. So select this material and repeat the same for the body object. Select body, select 4 dots, apply body color, select our arms. So we need to select path for our arm and apply our body color. We can select another one arm, also apply body, and we need to select our head, which is our head object, which is our hood, also apply body. Then we can select face and create new material. So in material section for the face, let's press these 4 dots, open the material assets, press plus and create a face. And for eyebrows, let's select one eyebrow. Let's go to the material. Let's change to the black, for example, press 4 dots, add new material eyebrow. Or for example, hair, I don't know. Select the other and apply eyebrow. So what we have now, Oh, we forgot about tail. Select our tail and apply also a body or any other material. So we make some kind of mapping that we want to continue work with materials, and we don't need to select any object anymore. We just can press escape, and here in material asset we can work with our material assets. So for example, for the body I want to have I don't know, let's experiment. I can select overlay and see what is going on if I will have overlay lighting. But if I apply overlay blending mode lighting for the body, it will be good. If I do the same for the other materials, so then the filling, the lighting will be consistent. So I need to, let's say I need to finish work with the one material, for example, with the body. So, okay, let's have normal lighting, 80% or maybe 60% of intensity of lighting. Maybe let's have, I don't know, let's make it stylish. Let's make it kind of like this. Let's add a matte cup. For example, this matte cup. Add screen blending mode for our matte cup. And we can still play with the main color. I don't know, I like when it's like a black matte plastic. I want to stay with this combination for the body, but it's again, you can play like with all matte cups from this list or any other matte cups and create your own design for the character. But I will go with, for example, this body. I can add a Fresnel layer. Why? Because I need to make my object responsive to the background, so it will feel natural. So I can select Fresnel and I will apply the same color I have for the background for Fresnel, like this. But it's too intensive, so go back to our body and let's manage Fresnel. So for example, manage intensity and maybe scale, and maybe I can select overlay blending mode. No, it's not visible. Maybe screen blending mode. Maybe less intensive, like 60, something like this. So we have like a little effect of the background on our model. Okay, I will have, for example, the black body. I can also turn on ambient shadow, but sometimes you can have some artifacts with the ambient shadow like this, so you can see the strange behavior of ambient shadow. Unfortunately, it still happens. To fix it, you just need to restart spline, so I will turn it off for now. Let's go to the face, so we can select face from here, and I want to make it like a purple, bright. So I need to switch lighting to the normal because we have normal lighting here. So it will be like purple. Oh, I mean pink, but I can make it something like this. And I'm gonna add also matte cup. I like the matte cup effect. The same matte cup I applied for the body, this matte cup with the screen like this. I can make the filling of the surface like a real plastic by adding a bump map. So what I mean, let's select body, material, apply image. And for the image, first of all, we need to select projection triplanar. So we will have our image everywhere in a path and in a mesh. I'm gonna select the grass image, one of these, it doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna make a transparency of the image layer full transparent. I don't need to see the grass. I just want to apply in a lightning a bump map with this image to create a texture, and not so intensive, probably minus, yeah, a little bit, minus 0.10. Let's go back to the image settings because it's too big texture. We need to make it smaller. So I will change the scale from 1 to 0.5. 0.5 for X and Y, maybe 0.25 for X and Y. So this little texture will make the feeling of the surface more like a natural, I don't know. And it will be nice if I can do the same with my face. So I can add image, select grass, make it smaller in the scale, and then transparent, and then apply a little enlightening bump map with my grass, but not so intensive. Let's set 0.1, maybe 0.2. Yeah. And I need to add my eyes. So I prepared the image with this white cross. I need just apply image material here, select planar projection, select axis Z because we look from this direction, which is the Z axis, and I need to upload my image. I need just adjust the size of this image by scale. So I will scale it like this, and I will scale it like this. I don't need to see repeatable, I don't need to see copies here. So I will just, in the wrapping, I will select clump, and then crop, I will select yes. So I crop my image. I can play with offset. So that means I can play with the position. I will leave it here. I want to place, I can place my image layer with my, like these eyes under the lighting. So then it will respond on the light. Or if I want to have it like completely white, I can leave it above the lighting layer. And let's finish with eyebrows. So I will select my eyebrow material, apply normal map, apply some red color, or I can actually, I want to apply for my eyebrows the same material as I use for body. How to do that? When I have my eyebrow material asset window open like this, I have this little icon, which means select objects using this material. So I select my two path eyebrows, and now I can go to material section here, select these two dots, and I can select body. So I applied body material to my eyebrows. And now I can delete eyebrow material and continue work with the body material sets. And my eyebrows also will be also will have these changes. So we have created our character. All I want you to do now is to feel free to play with materials. You can, for example, apply materials from previous video and create chrome character or plastic character. You can even try to create a glass character, but it actually would be hard. And yeah, this is it. There is like a idea is to how to create a character like this. And you can, for example, continue with changing the position of, for example, of the hands like this, or the body like this, or the head like this, rotate like this, like we will look somewhere. You can change the position of this arm like this. So make your character looks more dynamic, and not to be afraid to do something wrong, because you have your component character where you can always fix something. For example, I want to fix eyebrows here. So I'm gonna select my eyebrows and make maybe a little bit like evil look like this. So I'm gonna back, and you see how changes applies here. It's a little bit different picture right now. And later we will animate our character. So just continue play with material, or let's go to the next section where we learn the animation. Thank you.